Are you struggling to decide between SEMrush or Serpstat? I've got the answers. I've been a paying customer of both these tools for many years, and I've seen some clear differences. In today's video, I'm going to compare both these tools on features, primarily the major aspects like keyword research, comparative analysis, backlink data, rank tracking, site audits, and any other unique features each of these tools might have. I look at their ease of use. How easy is it to use SEMrush or Serpstat? I'm going to look at the pricing and overall value for money as such. And yeah, ultimately, I'll help you take a decision if SEMrush is better for you or Serpstat is better for you. Before we dive into this, here's just a quick analysis based on everything I researched so that you don't have to watch the entire video if you're short on time. If I were you, if I'm an advanced SEO and I really don't have time to waste, like SEMrush is a fantastic option. It is one of the best tools in the market right now. They've got very accurate data. They've got a very wide variety of data, even for the smallest of keywords. They have mature tools. They have a modern user interface. They have all of the features, or at least most of the features that Serpstat has. If you're somebody who cares a lot about keyword research and good position tracking, Serpstat is a pretty good option at an affordable price point. I would go for SEMrush over Serpstat. Like, I think Serpstat, the issue with it, in my opinion, is just that the data quality is okay, right? They've got incomplete data, inaccurate data. Their user interface honestly sucks. Like, it seems like it was built like 10, 15 years ago. And even in terms of features, like apart from the keyword research tool and position tracking, everything else is okay. SEMrush just does a fantastic job in pretty much all aspects. That's my analysis, right? Okay, now back to the full review. Let's start with the first thing, right? So let's look at Serpstat, the user interface, right? So Serpstat has like, it has all of the tools on the left. And when you log in, you see a dashboard like this, and then you've got like a search bar. You can search for a domain or a keyword, whatever that is. It's pretty similar. They've got like their list of tools in here, and they've got this page that shows up once you open their SEO dashboard. So similar. Of course, I think SEMrush's user interface seems slightly more modern than Serpstat. Serpstat seems it needs a bit of an update. But anyway, let's first dive into keyword research, right? So here's how keyword research works in Serpstat, right? So I'm going to take a simple keyword. In fact, I'm just going to search for it here. Let's look at Zendesk alternatives. When I click here, if it's not a domain, it automatically shows a keyword research thing, which I like this one bar where I can keep searching and it automatically identifies if it's a domain or a keyword, right? So I don't have to go into like separate tools, which I think saves a little bit of my time. Now, from what I can see, I think Serpstat is slightly slower than SEMrush. All right, it's loaded. There you go. It shows just like a traditional keyword research tool, the volume, the PPC competition, the CPC, their assumption of keyword difficulty, what are kind of like the organic keywords that you're ranking for, like that are related to this keyword, paid keywords, what's the trend. This is pretty cool because they actually have an integration with Google Trends, which is pretty good to see. Unfortunately, you can't like filter this by outside of United States, change the date range. You can't do that. But you can click onto Google Trends and then do that yourself. And then it's going to show you like competitors in organic search. Which domains do you compete with? Common keywords, visibility, how they're trending upwards and downwards. And then you'll also get like a comparative graph, like where do you stand versus your competitors? Not where do you stand, like competitors graph overall for this particular keyword, competitors in ads, and then particularly great at examples, right? So this is how it basically works. Now you can go deeper into organic keyword research, right? So you can click in and then go into kind of these related keywords for your primary seed keyword, like Zendesk alternatives in my case. All right. So there you go. It's like a spreadsheet style of interface, right? Where you can do like a bulk analysis, and they have these details like it has these features. You can see specific data for a particular keyword if you want to see paid keywords, all of that. And I don't know what this is. I guess any social domains, the ranking. Now, Serpstat actually has a lot of awesome filters in here, right? So you can first for filter based on any misspelled keywords, right? If you want to remove any of the keywords that are like misspelled, might be, I don't know, misspelled as in Dex. So then it would remove that, right? You can filter by toponyms, you can filter by specific keywords, volume, number of words in a keyword, sub features, keyword difficulty, CPC, competition level, and number of results as well. It's pretty interesting, right? And you can have many and or interpretations, and you can actually save those filters. Okay. That's the first thing. And it really allows you to go deep into it. So in this case, let's say I only want to see the volume between 200. Yeah. Let's just keep it at minimum 200. Okay. I need all right, 200 to 1,000. Right. So now it's filtered by these keywords. Now, what you can also do is you can customize what columns show up here. So let's say you don't want to see social domains because it just doesn't make sense. You don't want to see results, but you want to see CPC. You can just click here and simplify this view, which is pretty great, right? Because sometimes keyword research tools can become very complex in terms of UI, right? And you have control over how complex or easy UI is within Serpstat's keyword research tool. So this is pretty good. Now you can also look at related keywords, search suggestions. Let me just show you what it looks like. There you go. Of course, it found open source alternatives, all of that. You can, again, filter by a lot of different filters. Like you can filter questions, right? Which is pretty great. Right? If you want to find what, how, where questions, you can find that. You can also find the more popular keywords, right? Let's say you want to see free keywords, the ones with the word free in them. There we go. It shows all of them. Right? You can also search questions. I'm going to remove the free. I'm going to remove the alternatives. There we go. It's found all of the keywords, the questions, what is, how to, all of that, which is pretty great. And then you can also kind of filter by pricing. So if you want to see any questions to pricing, not any questions related to pricing, but yeah, like you have those filters available. And by the way, anytime if you want to export this data, you can always export it. Now you can also look at top pages. All right. So in terms of top pages, so these are the top pages. These are the top pages, what they rank for, and what traffic, all of that, right? And then you can find competitors, all of that. So like from a keyword research perspective, like they've got everything that you need, right? Now, even in terms of PPC keyword research, they provide you keywords, competitors, ad examples, which most good SEO tools provide. But they also provide ad landing pages. So you can see here, these are all of the ad landing pages for all of the ads running for this keyword. And this is super helpful, right? Because it allows you to then kind of do some kind of comparative research, like what's working in terms of their ads and all of that, right? And this is something not a lot of keyword research tools have, right? So this is what that's keyword research tool looks like. Now let's look at SEMrush's keyword research. So you can find it here in keyword research, keyword overview. All right. So this is what the keyword overview looks like. Now, the first thing you can do is type the keyword Zendesk alternative, right? Now, there's a small difference between Serpstat and SEMrush here, right? SEMrush also allows you to do multiple keyword research in one go, right? Which can be a lot time saving, to be honest. Like, let's say you have a list of keywords, you can just paste it in here and start doing it, right? But just for this particular example, let's just take one keyword. So this is what SEMrush's keyword research tool looks like. So the standard volume, keyword difficulty, global volume. Okay. This is the US volume and this is the global volume. But what's interesting, and I think what I really like about SEMrush's keyword research is the intent information. So they automatically identify what might be the intent for this keyword based on the SERP results and just the query, right? So in this case, they're pretty correct that this is a commercial intent keyword. Now, where it helps is that when you kind of bulk export a lot of keywords, you already have auto-filled intent information, right? So you can easily filter out the keywords that are relevant. So if you want to target only commercial intent keywords, you can just set up a filter and just target those. Right? And that's where this particular thing I find really helps. They also provide the trend in terms of like how it's going. Uh, they give you keyword ideas, variations, any questions, any particular clusters. They give you an idea of the subs, 1 to 10, 11 to 20. So you can go all the way up till 100. They give you ad history, basically all of that, right? And this is where you can do bulk analysis if you want to do multiple keyword research, right? Now, if I want to go into the keyword variations, I just click there and this is what it looks like. All right. So once you look at the related keyword, right? You basically enter the keyword magic tool. Now, there are a couple of things that I like about their keyword magic tool, which I don't think any other keyword research tool has. The first is you can cluster keywords based on certain types like free, best, chat, all of that. And then basically do research within those clusters, right? So let's say if I want to see free keywords, it says there are 15. So I'm just going to click on this. Chat, Django, knowledge, all of that. And then I can keep going in, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is you can actually see these buckets by volume. This kind of allows you to see really how big of a topic this is, right? Considering all of the related keywords and existing keywords, right? So even though Zendesk Alternatives has 220 search volume or 2000 global volume, it actually has 5,500 search volume when you kind of factor in their related keywords, right? So this is pretty helpful. This allows you to, I guess, prioritize big keyword or topical opportunities. I find this pretty helpful. Now, you can also filter like they give you a lot of filters. So one of my favorite things is intent. So if I, let's say, want to only see commercial intent, informational intent, I can use that as a filter. This is a SEMrush exclusive. You can filter by CPC, you can filter by the keywords, volume, keyword difficulty, and then some filters like word count, competitive density, sub features, results, all of that, right? Now, there are a couple of differences with Serpstat, right? Now, Serpstat also gives you misspelled keywords and you can filter by those and a couple of other unique filters that SEMrush doesn't have. While SEMrush has things like intent, phrase match, exact match. You can even look at languages if you want to find any French keywords. Like these are where SEMrush has an edge over Serpstat. And within SEMrush, you can also go into a particular domain and search for the keywords that they're ranking for. Or if you want to even look at PPC data, you can go deeper into that as well. But on a high level, this is what SEMrush's keyword research tool looks like. Now, how do we compare them both, right? So I think both Serpstat and SEMrush actually have really good keyword research tools, right? Even though the volume can be drastically different. For example, Zendesk alternatives was something like 800 in Serpstat, while in SEMrush there is actually about 2000 volume, right? So there can be differences there. And I've generally observed that SEMrush's data quality is better than Serpstat because Serpstat sometimes doesn't have the volume information for a lot of keywords that SEMrush actually has. But I think even keeping that point in mind, I think in terms of like features and the level of clarity that you get with keyword research with both these tools, it's actually at par. Okay? Now with Serpstat, you can search questions and you can comparators and you can do some very heavy PPC keyword research. Within SEMrush, you can do things equally well. So in this case, I would give this a tie. I think both SEMrush and Serpstat are equally good. You can easily choose one over the other. The only slight edge that SEMrush might have is in terms of data quality, but Serpstat kind of covers that up with more filters and more ease of use in terms of just making the user interface customizable to you in terms of keyword research and also like the many filters that they provide. So in this case, nobody wins the round. The next thing we're going to compare Serpstat and SEMrush on is comparative research, right? So within Serpstat, you can go in to domain analysis, or you can just click on the bar at the top and search for it. So right, I'm going to take Zendesk.com as an example. So when I click on Zendesk.com, it shows me domain analysis, backlink analysis, keyword research, which I like. And this is the standard bar that they have across all of their user interface. So on Zendesk.com, it shows they've got like this visibility score, which is like how often does it show in the top 20 in Google? And I guess like in Zendesk's case, it probably shows up like 40% of the times, which is pretty amazing. They estimate Zendesk gets 8.8 million search traffic, ranks for 4.7 million keywords, ranks for 28 paid keywords. Here are all of the organic keywords it ranks for. Orange chicks, I don't know, phone number of Ticketmaster, like super random. These are all the keywords where it's improved position, declined position. These are all of the paid keywords, the keyword distribution, position distribution. Here are the subdomains that Zendesk has. Here's the visibility trend. Let's look at it all time. Here's how it goes. Here's the traffic trend, keywords trend, top pages for Zendesk, top competitors in organic search for Zendesk, comparator graph, comparator in ads, add examples. You can also add in details from your own rank tracker if this is one of your own domains. There's a backlink overview where you can see the domain rank. It's like their version of domain authority, referring domains, external domains, all of that, follow to no follow percentage. And then again, if it's your own site, you can actually run an audit and it shows up here. Now, I think this is pretty great, right? You can just go in, you can look at the keywords, and then it takes you into the keyword explorer. You can look at the paid keywords, all of that. One interesting aspect that I think was worth showing is you can compare the performance of you can compare the performance of two competitors, right? So Zendesk versus somebody else. I want to check if I yeah. All right, so I'm gonna let's say compare this with healthscout.com. Yeah. And I can also add a third comparator, but I'm just going to keep it to two. And this is like an analysis, right? So this is pretty interesting, right? Zendesk is approximately 4.6 million traffic. HealthScout is maybe 220,000, right? So it shows you how big Zendesk is. These are all of the, I guess, the unique traffic, and these are all of the keywords that both of them rank for, and these are the common keywords that both of them rank for. And yeah, like this is majorly it, right? This is a great way to just get some domain to domain clarity. And it's great from an execution perspective that, hey, these are the keywords that we should be targeting versus a competitor. And again, you can make some changes in the UI here by adjusting the columns. This is a product wide feature that you can do. You can also copy this table or export this data and all of that, right? Now, this is interesting. You can also do a tree view where you can basically, you know, see pages by the keywords that they're ranking for, right? So in this case, let me just filter this out and just use URLs that contain blog. Let's see what that comes out. All right, so you can see, right, these are the blog keywords. I can also filter this further by keyword volume, right? So just give me 1 second. So I'm gonna create a and the volume is between 100 to 1000. All right, now we're getting somewhere, right? We start getting things like all of this, right? Now I'm gonna filter this down further by adding an and I'm just gonna say keywords contain. Sorry, I'm gonna change the keyword to support software because nothing in Help Scout. All right, so I mean, I tried my best, but yeah, so this is like that tree view. It's useful in some cases, but yeah, this is how their domain analysis works. And they also have this market research tool where you can compare this, you know, based on, yeah, top pages. I don't have that in my plan, but yeah. So my point being that you can get very execution level data in terms of keywords or backlinks or traffic or ads. You can compare, landing pages, all of that. So it's pretty comprehensive on a micro level. Now, this is what the comparative research looks like for SEMrush. So when you search for Zendesk.com, you get an authority score, which is pretty similar, right? Serpstat had an authority score of 80. These guys have 79. SEMrush has 79. It gives you an organic search traffic. SEMrush gives 6.2 million. Serpstat gave about 8 million. They've got paid search traffic, backlinks. So it's pretty good. But all right, this is interesting. So SEMrush also gives number of pages per visit, average visit duration, bounce rate, and I don't know how they get this data, but this is super interesting. All right. You can also see organic, you can see traffic, how it's grown over time, distribution by country. And I generally like the user interface of SEMrush, like beautiful colors, visual interface, easier to understand. It gives you top organic keywords, organic position distribution, keywords by intent. I love this bit, right? Because it shows that Zendesk is spending 55% of their keywords, focusing on 55%, which are like informational intent keywords. It gives you branded traffic versus non-branded traffic, which is interesting. They also give you a comparative positioning lens map, right? Like how do you compare against HubSpot or Salesforce and all of that, where Zendesk is, right? Zendesk is here. Advertising research, competitors, how we compare on the positioning map. Here are the ads that they have, the backlinks, top anchors, index pages, all of that, right? Now, this is just the beginning with SEMrush on this. The second thing you can do is you can obviously do everything that Serpstat gives, like compare this with a competitor. So I'm going to take Help Scout again. And you'd be shocked at the level of insight that SEMrush can provide. Okay, so you can see here on a high level, it gives you an idea that authority score difference, SEMrush rank, organic traffic, keywords, backlinks, referring domains, paid keywords, paid traffic costs. Difference in branded to non-branded traffic, right? I really like this quick summary section. And then you can go deeper into which are the missed opportunities, where there's a keyword overlap, which are the keywords that you've not targeted, all of that, right? And then I can't even tell you how deep you can go into SEMrush on this, right? So from an execution perspective, they have everything that Serpstat has and 10 times more features. Now, these are more like micro level aspects. What keywords am I ranking for? What's my branded versus non-branded traffic, all of that, right? Like, but SEMrush also gives you macro level information, right? Like, how do I stand out in this landscape? So let me show you what that looks like. Okay. So the first is very specific analytics about any website, right? Visits, visitors, pages per visit, average visit duration, bounce rate. All right. What's their market share? What's their market traffic, right? And you can even explore your market. You can compare it with competitors. You can compare all of these metrics with competitors, all of that, right? So let's say if you want to explore your market, let's say customer support space. So I click here, and when you click here, you enter the market explorer, right? And these are the macro level data that I was telling you about earlier with SEMrush. You get an overall total addressable market, how much have you penetrated the market, how much is the market traffic cost, what's the overall traffic available, where do you stand versus competitors, what are like some of the trending keywords, top keywords. It's got so much information and so much in-depth information that this is helpful from top to bottom, from macro to micro, from leadership to SEO executive, right? And that's why I can go more deeper into the features, but I think it's fairly clear that SEMrush is, I don't know, 10 times or maybe 100 times better or more featured than Serpstat on competitive research. So SEMrush wins this round hands down over Serpstat. The next thing we're going to look at is backlinks data and backlinks features that Serpstat and SEMrush have. So within Serpstat, you can go in and, like I said, search for the backlink dashboard, or you can go in here and just click on backlink analysis and go to the backlink dashboard and add your domain. So for Zendesk, this is what it shows. Their version of domain authority, referring domains, total backlink, follow to no follow split, all of these metrics, new and lost backlinks, how many like backlinks based on their version of domain authority, top anchors, uh, the types of backlinks broken down by geography, all of that. Now, I can go in now this is super interesting, right? Like Serpstat does not provide this information for domains with a large backlink profile. I don't know why they do that. So this is a bummer, right? I hate it when I'm not given data or I'm limited by certain issues by them. So this is a major issue. I'm going to take something smaller. I'm going to take my own website and let's look at backlinks for my own website just to see what their interface looks like. All right. It gives you like this backlinks data, one per page, one per domain. I would choose one per domain, right? Becomes easier to do that. Tells me where I've got backlinks from, and I can filter this or sort this in descending order so I know which are kind of like most important backlinks. Okay, so it has all of this data, backlinks from all of these different places. It seems like it's crawling them fairly frequently, so you can see last was indexed 6 days ago, 3 days ago, which is good to know, right? Seems like that backlink data is fairly accurate. I can also see my top anchors, and I can break them out into 1 word, 2 word, 3 word, 4 words. Let's see, 4 words. All right, so it's gotten pretty accurate results. I can also see by top pages, right? So according to it, these are the top pages in terms of backlinks. Let me filter this by referring domains, right? So yeah, I don't know why my domain is here twice. Probably because of the slash, but Yeah, this just creates a lot of duplicate, but yeah, like it has all of this data, and I think it's fairly accurate. And I guess I can go in and look at the backlinks, right? So for my copy I review, let me have a look at the backlinks. So there we go. It has these different backlinks. Honestly, like I know this for a fact that I got more backlinks than this, so I don't think this data is fully accurate. I don't think they've captured everything. So that's it. That's how the backlink analysis works with Serpstat. Now let's look at how it would look in SEMrush. So within this, you can go into the link building aspect and just go into backlink analytics. So I put in Zendesk, and it shows me a much better user interface, right? Where it gives me total referring domains, backlinks, monthly visits, traffic, overall toxicity score, which is weird. Gives an authority, overall authority, network, referring domains, backlinks, how they've grown over time, top anchors. I really like this aspect, right? I know that they're using support and FAQs and help center properly. You can also see categories, attributes, backlink types, top countries, link profile distribution, all of that. And I can compare this with another competitor, right? So I'm going to take Health Scout. Oh, and I can compare this with 5 competitors. This is pretty awesome. Okay, so in here I can see that I have Zendesk has 10 times more backlinks than Health Scout, has I don't know, 30 times more traffic. So it's interesting. You can see how many backlinks from domain authority 81 to 100 Zendesk has and Help Scout has, which this is super helpful, right? Because this shows that they have a lot more higher authority backlinks, which probably makes them rank higher. The this is a pretty awesome feature. It's called backlink gap, where you can basically see all of the places where, let's say, Help Scout has backlinks, but Zendesk doesn't, right? So they can reach out to all of these places and try to get poach their competitors' backlinks. And then you can keep going deeper, right? So let's say I want to look at the exact backlinks. So they provide a lot of good filters. All right. So you've got these filters. Now let's say I want to see only backlinks where one per domain. Okay. So I can just do one link per referring domain. Then I can filter by new backlinks, by time period. I can filter by link placement. If the backlink is in a content, header, footer, sidebar, this is pretty useful. I can, yeah, there's a lot of filters in here. I can, check based on a keyword or type, if it's a text, image, form, frame, all of these things. So it's actually pretty good. Like I really like it, right? And then, yeah, just you can filter by page authority score. You can sort them by it. And it seems like they also crawl regularly. 6 days ago, any ones that haven't been, oh, this is lost on July 8th, right? So anyway, so you get all of this data. You can see referring domains. You can see network graph. So this basically gives you a very visual and useful view of how the backlink universe is around Zendesk, right? And so it seems like SEMrush's analysis is that their domain profile is looks natural and has a lot of backlinks from relevant domains. 42% are relevant, right? And then you can go deeper into analyzing this, right? So I think these are more macro level aspects. You can see index pages, outbound domains, you can see competitors. Let's look at anchors. Yeah, you can see all of the anchors that they do, and you can do a quick search within this, right? So, and it's not just limited to this. SEMrush also provides like a link building tool within its interface, so you can, keep track of like your how you're reaching out to your opportunities, how many emails you've sent, what opportunities are there. Let me give you a quick preview of that as well. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. You can send to prospects, the keywords, here are the competitors. Oops. Yeah, and then basically see reject opportunities, connect a domain, and start sending emails. So like it has a lot of those features. So I guess like okay, there we go. So you can see that there are all of these opportunities, competitors, lost backlinks. Now you can, have an outreach strategy where you can have manual link outreach or guest post outreach. Like it's a pretty good link building tool that's included in your SEMrush subscription, right? So I guess my point is that SEMrush's backlink tools are definitely more advanced than Serpstat. The backlink data quality is way more advanced than Serpstat. And personally, I felt it was a bit of a bummer that I can't analyze the backlink profiles of large sites in Serpstat, right? So I think, again, in this case, SEMrush wins over Serpstat or backlink analysis. The next thing we're going to look at is position tracking, keyword position tracking, right? So within Serpstat, it's actually in a module called Rank Tracker, and it's actually pretty good, right? So first of all, it gives you just an overview of like how things are going in terms of visibility, average position, features, which rankings have increased, dropped. But I'll show you my favorite view within Serpstat. So this is what position tracking looks like in Serps, my favorite view, right? So first of all, it gives me a very good history of like how my keywords are ranking over time, right? So I can see over the last 7 days, I can see it over the last 3 months, I can see it over the last 1 year, right? So it allows me to see how I'm moving, right? I was like for example, for a simple keyword like let's take how to acquire early SaaS adopters. I was maybe at position number 4, but like from 11th August onwards, I'm at position number 1, right? And I think this is fantastic data. And it's very easy to add keywords, right? So I can just go in here, click on add keywords. I can add tags, right? So for example, stopped if I've let's say removed a page or I've stopped competing for a particular keyword, I just attach tag out for it, right? So these keywords are not important for me at all right now, right? So there are all of these simple features. You can also kind of change the columns if you want to remove the tags and just keep volume in here, or even if you just want to remove the volume and just keep it only the positions and the keywords. I think it's possible in Serpstat, and you can make the user interface quite minimalistic. You can also add in features, particular keywords. If you have a big list of keywords, if you want to see all of the keywords, they're currently ranking between position number 1 to 3. If you want to see keywords from a higher volume, like all of those things are possible. Now, Serpstat also records the entire Serp history, right? So you can see what the history looked like for, let's say, copy I review on 9th August and 10th August and 11th August, right? And you can see that copy I used to rank for this keyword on 9th August, but like for the 11th, 12th, 13th, Capter was ranking, right? And then you can go in and see other reports like what page have they created and all of that. And you can actually do that for organic and paid. You can actually just go in and see the actual SERP as well. And you can, again, filter this by last 365 days all of the time. They keep this data. But just remember that all of this data is only recorded after a keyword is added into a rank tracker in Serpstat. Right? You can also see all of the keywords with expected URL attached and without expected URL, right? Or URL is different for a particular keyword, right? So you can identify that maybe there's some cannibalization issue, or you maybe there's something wrong in your SEO strategy where the wrong pages are ranking for the keywords you're targeting. And by the way, in the position history, you can also see it, all of the movement of your top 1 keywords or top 2 to 3, top 4 to 5. Like all of this data is in there. And again, this is like customizable if you want to see for the last 7 days, for last 365 days, for all time, all of that. And now let's move on to the position tracking in SEMrush, right? So you can basically add in your keywords, and then it gives you like this, probably more modern than Serpstat, gives you like this history, and you can filter your keywords based on intent, tags, features, volume, all of these additional features. Now, where things get interesting is that you can also see a ranking distribution on particular dates, right? So, for example, on August 15th, I'm ranking in for 6 keywords from position number 1 to 3, and on August 9th, I was ranking for 5 keywords, right? So, this is great for managers and team leads just to get an overview of which keywords are we improving or declining in, and all of that. And this is a fantastic dashboard, especially for teams, where you can, you know, filter by tags and all of that. You can see by filter by features. You can filter by affected keywords. If there's any cannibalized pages, you can see all of that, right? So in terms of position tracking, I feel that SEMrush has some very strong features for teams, right? With awesome dashboards and stuff like that. Serpstat has features maybe more for individuals, right? But honestly, I think it's great, like it, and it, gives you like this history over time, last 7 days, 30 days, 1 year, all time. But I still prefer SEMrush's position tracking more. I like the user interface better. I like the dashboards. I just like the customizability, even though Serpstat's position history is the one that I find quite useful for me, because that's exactly what I want for every keyword, how they're ranking over time, which I can't find in SEMrush. So this is a tough one, right? Like, I think SEMrush is good in its own strengths in terms of dashboard. Serpstat is good in its own strengths, in terms of like really true basic minimalistic position tracking. I would say this is a bit of a tie in terms of position tracking. Both have good features. So yeah, I think that's part. I don't think anybody wins or loses here. Both SEMrush and Serpstat have equally good position tracking. It's just meant for different kinds of audiences. Let's look at the site audit capabilities in Serpstat versus SEMrush, right? So Serpstat has like this audit where it shows you all of these errors, issues, and recommendations, right? You can look at all of the issues, and it basically breaks them down into high priority, medium priority, low priority, with issues like the titles, headings, redirects. The list is long, and I think they give some pretty good suggestions. However, I'm not a huge fan of their user interface. Like, I think this is way too dated. That's my only issue with them. Otherwise, it's a pretty customizable audit, and I think it's pretty good. And you can export it in Excel or a PDF, which is pretty helpful. Now, SEMrush's website audit is much more visually beautiful, right? So you can see site health, errors, warnings, notices, your top issues. You can go into the issues and look at what's broken, which have duplicate meta descriptions, there's warnings, all of that. But I think the bit where they maybe fall behind a little bit is just they don't help you prioritize which are like more important and which are like there's no priority. In Substat, you've got like high priority, medium priority, low priority. SEMrush doesn't have any priorities, right? I think overall, still, I would say that SEMrush's website audit is definitely better, because in terms of data, it's the same, but in terms of user interface, it's like miles ahead of Substat. And they also look at a lot of different aspects. So yeah, I think this one's an easy one. The site audit, SEMrush definitely wins over Substat. Now, I think the last thing in terms of features is just like what else does Substat provide out of these 4 or 5 basic things that an SEO tool must have, right? So they provide lots of, for example, they've started giving some AI content tools. I haven't experimented with that. You can see keyword trends. You can cluster keywords. You can create your own tasks for project management purposes. You can do bulk analysis. You can do batch processing, all of that. These are like the features that Substat provides, and they're all They're decent. I wouldn't say they're because they're not their strengths. Now, on the other hand, SEMrush has so many different tools and they're all pretty mature. So what you saw here, what I showed you was just the SEO aspect, comparative research, keyword research, link building, and audits, right? They've got all of these other things as well. So ads, they've got a social media poster, tracker, analytics, inbox, influencer analytics. They've got a content marketing one where you can monitor keywords. You can, use it for SEO writing. You can create content briefs. You can do an audit for the content. You can look at trends. You can look at all of these different things. So again, in terms of features, like SEMrush has way many features. They're much more mature than Serpstat. So you don't even have to think about this. Like SEMrush wins over Serpstat on this one as well. Now, the last thing we're going to look at is pricing. Let's compare them on pricing. So Serpstat starts at $59 per month and scales based on the features you need and limits, because there's like a credits based system within Serpstat. So let's say within the individual plan, you get 100 searches per day, which is, to be honest, quite generous. Within team plans, you get 500 searches per day. You can increase the number of reports. You can get more keywords to track, more position checks, but everything's based per credit, right? So it starts at $59 per month and then can go really high up to $479 per month. Now let's compare SEMrush's pricing. SEMrush starts at $120 or $130 per month. I use the Guru plan. Just for reference, the plans that I'm comparing right now is I have the Guru plan of SEMrush and I have the individual plan in Serpstat, right? I use the Guru plan because that's where you need more limits and you can also some more features. But to be honest, the Pro plan is good as well. Like most of the major features I covered in today's comparison are in the Pro plan, so you don't have to worry too much about it. But like, I think first of all, like, even though SEMrush might be more expensive than Serpstat, the amount of tools that it provides is way more than Serpstat. Okay, so there's value for money there. In terms of data quality, SEMrush is far better than Serpstat, so that's something to consider as well. And then SEMrush does not have a credit limit. You can basically do unlimited searches, domain searches, comparative analysis, keyword research, in all of their plans. Right? So for $130 a month, you're not restricted on 100 searches per month. So even from that perspective, they have a flat subscription cost with basically unlimited credits for keywords and domain search and everything, right? So this one's a tough one. Serpstat is cheaper and they provide a lot of features, but even though SEMrush is maybe twice more expensive than Serpstat, they just have better data quality and more features. So in terms of value for money, I think SEMrush wins over Serpstat. But if you're just considering pricing per se, then I think Serpstat wins over SEMrush. The final question: should you choose Serpstat or should you go for SEMrush? Now, it depends on your unique situations. Let me just tell you, right? If you're budget constrained, go for Serpstat. If you're somebody who cares a lot about keyword research and good position tracking, Serpstat is a pretty good option at an affordable price point. But if you're somebody who's, let's say, looking for very good data in an SEO tool in terms of correctness and accuracy, then SEMrush is the better option. If you're looking for more value for money, SEMrush is the better option. If you're looking for a better user interface, SEMrush is the better option. If you're looking in terms of more mature product, SEMrush is the better option. If you're looking for more value for money, SEMrush is the better option. Overall, like, I think if I were you, I would go for SEMrush over Serpstat. Like, I think Serpstat the issue with it, in my opinion, is just that the data quality is okay, right? Like in sometimes you're not given access to data. Sometimes they don't have the data, right? So they've got incomplete data, inaccurate data. Their user interface honestly sucks. Like it seems like it was built like 10, 15 years ago. And even in terms of features, like apart from the keyword research tool and position tracking, everything else is okay. SEMrush just does a fantastic job in pretty much all aspects. They've got very accurate data. They've got a very wide variety of data, even for the smallest of keywords. They have mature tools. They have a modern user interface. They have all of the features, or at least most of the features that Serpstat has. And yeah, I think if I were you, if I'm an advanced SEO and I really don't have time to waste, like SEMrush is a fantastic option. It is one of the best tools in the market right now. If you're somebody who's, if you're budget constrained and you just, want to use a keyword research tool, you can consider Serpstat, but I would still consider you to buy SEMrush. Like, I think they're a better option than Serpstat elsewhere at a similar price. For example, you can go for Uber Suggest if you're budget conscious. That's $12 a month, 4 times cheaper than Serpstat, but still better than Serpstat in a lot of ways. So yeah, that's my analysis, right? Now, if you like this video, I would please urge you to buy using my affiliate links below. If you're planning to buy Serpstat or SEMrush, you can consider using my YouTube description links below. You can consider buying from the links in my YouTube description. It won't cost you anything extra, but it will give me a small commission that helps fund the efforts in creating videos like this. So yeah, that's my only ask. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments and I'll answer them for you. I've used both SEMrush and Serpstat for almost 7-8 years. So I have a lot of background and history and information about these two tools, so I can go deeper into it. And as usual, if you like this video, please share, subscribe to my channel. We do a lot of software reviews and comparisons. We take a very objective approach. We don't favor particular tools just based on affiliate commissions. We value honesty over anything else. You can expect like real, transparent, raw opinions on software. Anyway, thank you for listening to me on this video. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead.